Welcome to the channel where we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history. The 6 most valuable and ultra-rare United States Mercury dimes ever discovered. These dimes may look old, worn, and even dirty, but some of them have sold for thousands, tens of thousands, and even over $100,000 at auction. Stay tuned, because you won't believe what the number 1 dime on this list is worth. Let's get started. First up, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious, historically rich, and surprisingly valuable U.S. silver dimes ever minted, the ultra-rare 1917 Mercury dime, a San Francisco minted dime that can sell for thousands of dollars, even in very dirty, worn-out condition. If you think only shiny mint condition coins are worth big money, this video is going to change your mind. The 1917 Mercury dime is part of the beloved winged Liberty Head dime series, better known as the Mercury dime series by collectors. Minted from 1916 to 1945, this coin is more than just a piece of old currency. It's a collectible artifact. The 1917 stands out among early Mercury dimes due to its low survival rate, especially in higher grades. Most examples that still exist today are found exactly the way collectors fear: scratched, tarnished, worn smooth, caked in decades of dirt, and sometimes bent or corroded. Yet even in this ugly, unclean state, the 1917 holds surprising value and demand among serious collectors. It's a semi-key date coin that often completes high-value sets, and even damaged or low-grade examples rarely sell for less than strong collector prices. The story of this coin begins in 1917, during a turbulent time in history. The United States had just entered World War I, and the economy was pushing massive amounts of silver coinage into circulation to support trade and military supplies. Coins were handled aggressively, often stored in heavy canvas bags, and transported long distances across railroads. At the San Francisco Mint, where this coin was struck, production quality was not always consistent. Striking pressure varied, and planchet quality issues were common. Although over 4.8 million Mercury dimes were struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1917, relatively few survive today because most were used in daily commerce for decades. The 1917 Mercury dime was designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the same sculptor who designed the Walking Liberty $50. On the obverse, the coin features Liberty wearing a winged cap, representing freedom of thought, though many people mistake her for the Roman god Mercury, hence the nickname Mercury dime. The word Liberty wraps around the top of the coin, and the date 1917 is centered below. On the reverse side, the coin displays a fasces, a bundle of rods tied around an axe, symbolizing unity and strength. It is wrapped in an olive branch, signifying peace. To the right of the fasces, just below the center of the reverse, sits the very small but extremely important mint mark, the key to identifying this coin as being minted in San Francisco. While the original mintage numbers might suggest this coin is somewhat common, the truth is the opposite. Very few 1917 Mercury dimes survive today in collectible condition, especially with strong details. The vast majority that appear today are dirty, heavily worn, or scratched from cleaning. Many have been in coin jars, pocket change, and estate boxes for generations. Coins with full bands on the reverse are extremely rare, and only a handful of high-grade survivors exist today. PCGS and NGC combined have graded fewer than 200 mint state examples in all grades, and full band varieties are so rare that they often sell immediately at auction. Even circulated examples in good or very good condition are considered desirable because collectors know how hard they are to find. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know. How much is a 1917 Mercury dime worth today, even in dirty condition? The value depends heavily on condition and strike. In very dirty, heavily worn condition, this coin still sells for $15 to $40, mostly due to its silver melt value and collector demand. In good G4 to very good VG8 condition, values rise to $50.85. In fine F12 to very fine VF 2030 condition, this coin can sell for $100-160. A sharp extremely fine XF40 coin can bring $250-350, and an about uncirculated 5058 example can sell between $450-900. Mint state MS60, MS65 condition, prices jump dramatically, from $1,200 all the way to $4,000, and now the rarest form, full bands FB strike. A true 1917 SFB can sell for $10,000 to $35,000, and the current auction record for this coin is over $35,000 for a certified mint state full bands example. These are serious numbers for a small silver coin. If you want to find or collect a 1917 S Mercury dime, focus on authenticity, originality, and strike quality. Never clean a dirty silver dime. Cleaning ruins the surface and destroys collector value. Good places to search for this coin include estate collections, coin shops, auction websites, junk silver bins, and coin roll hunts, though finding one in circulation today is extremely rare. If you think you found a valuable example, consider professional grading by PCGS, NGC, or ANACS to maximize resale value. The 1917 S Mercury dime continues to rise in value, making it a strong long-term collector investment. And if you think this coin is rare, wait until you see the next coin in this series. Another ultra-rare US dime that recently sold for more than $60,000 and is still being found by lucky collectors today. You don't want to miss that one, so stay tuned. And secondly, we're exploring the stories and the staggering values hidden within the most extraordinary coins ever to leave the US Mint. This is the ultra-rare 1925 Mercury dime without a mint mark. Its very existence in any condition is a minor miracle, a story of survival against all odds that makes it one of the most desirable and expensive silver coins a collector can pursue. The Mercury dime, minted from 1916 to 1945, is a perennial favorite, but the 1925 issue from the Philadelphia Mint holds a special place due to its historical context. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing, but the economic prosperity of the era had a curious effect on coinage. With money flowing freely, there was less need for the mint to produce vast quantities of dimes for circulation compared to leaner years. Furthermore, the focus at the Philadelphia Mint was often on producing larger denomination coins, like silver dollars, which were in high demand. This perfect storm resulted in a strikingly low mintage for the 1925 dime, one of the lowest of the entire series, with just over 25 million pieces struck. When you consider that these coins saw heavy circulation during the Great Depression and World War II, the number that survived becomes astonishingly small. The design itself is a masterpiece of American numismatics, often mistaken for depicting the Roman god Mercury, but actually featuring a youthful Liberty wearing a winged Phrygian cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. This iconic obverse, the work of sculptor Adolf A. Weinman, is full of intricate details that are often the first to wear away on a circulated piece. Look for the fine strands of hair and the sharp definition of the feathers on the cap. The reverse features the fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of authority, wrapped with an olive branch signifying peace. On a heavily worn example like the one we are discussing, these details will be soft and merged, but the major elements should still be discernible. The fact that this design is packed with so much high-relief detail is precisely why coins in top condition are so rare, and why even a dirty, low-grade specimen is so valuable. The surfaces are fragile and prone to marks and abrasions. When we talk about rarity, the 1925 Philadelphia issue is the undisputed key date of the later series, and its survival rate in any condition is remarkably low. The vast majority of these dimes were spent, saved in glass jars, or melted down in the great silver melts of the 20th century. They were simply used up. While you might find a worn 1925D from Denver or a 1925S from San Francisco with some effort, The Philadelphia coin is the true prize. Finding one, even in a heavily circulated, dirty, and well-worn state, is a significant event. Coins in grades like good 4 or very good 8 are considered the most commonly encountered for this date, but common is a relative term here. These low-grade survivors are the coins that tell the real story, having passed through countless hands during some of America's most defining decades, and each one is a tangible piece of that history. The collector demand for this coin is absolutely ferocious, creating a market where even the most worn examples command prices that shock new collectors. Every serious collector aiming for a complete set of Mercury dimes, whether a short set or a full run, must have this coin. There is no substitute. This non-negotiable demand, coupled with a fixed and ever-dwindling supply, creates a perfect numismatic storm. It stands out in the series not for its beauty, but for its sheer unavailability. While other dates can be found with patience, the search for a 1925 no-mint mark dime, regardless of condition, can take years. This intense competition for a handful of available coins drives the market to incredible heights, making it the undisputed king of the series in terms of premium over common dates. So what does this mean for its market value in today's dollars? Let's be very clear, we are not talking about a coin worth a few dollars here. Even in a heavily worn, dirty, and damaged condition, what we would call a problem coin with no luster, heavy scratches, and perhaps even minor bends, a 1925 dime will still cost a collector a significant amount. For a specimen in good 4 condition, with a full rim and a date that is clearly readable but with most details heavily worn flat, you are looking at a current market value ranging from $150 to over $250. If you are fortunate enough to find one in a slightly better state, such as very good 8 with a bit more detail on the wreath and fasces, the price can easily climb to $350 or more. These are not prices for mint state coins. These are the costs for owning a piece of history in its most humble, circulated form. For those of you hoping to add this coin to your collection, my advice is to focus squarely on authenticity and legibility. Do not hold out for a pristine, beautiful example unless you have a 5-figure budget. Instead, look for a coin that is honestly worn, where the date is clear and the major features are all present, even if soft. The surfaces will likely be dark, dirty, and heavily toned, and that is perfectly acceptable. Purchasing from reputable dealers at major coin shows or through established auction houses is paramount to avoid altered or counterfeit coins. The 1925 no-mint mark Mercury dime is far more than just 10 cents. It is a numismatic legend, a cornerstone of any serious Mercury dime collection, and a tangible relic of 1920s America that barely survived to tell its tale. Its appeal is universal, challenging new collectors with its price and seasoned veterans with its scarcity. And if you think the story of a dirty, worn-out dime being worth hundreds of dollars is incredible, just wait for our next video. We are going to examine a coin that seems to defy all logic, a common-looking Lincoln cent from the 1930s that was struck on the wrong metal planchet, a tiny error that can turn a 1-cent piece into a treasure worth over $10,000. You will not want to miss that one, so make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. And thirdly, we're talking about the most valuable and rare. The 1931 Mercury dime with the Denver D mint mark holds a powerful place in the world of American numismatics, captivating collectors with its classic beauty, low mintage, and undeniable historical appeal. Even when found in very dirty or worn condition, this coin sparks interest because of its recognized rarity and rising demand among serious collectors. While not as widely known as some earlier Mercury dime key dates, the 1931 D has gained a strong reputation as a prized treasure in the series, especially when preserved in higher grades or featuring original mint luster. It is a coin that continues to gain attention due to its scarcity and investment potential in today's collector market. Minted at the Denver Mint during one of the most challenging economic eras in United States history, the 1931 Mercury dime is a product of the Great Depression. Coin production across the country slowed dramatically during this time because there was little need for new coinage in circulation. As a result, mintages dropped significantly, and the 1931 had a total output of only 1,260,000 pieces, one of the lowest of the entire Mercury dime series. This places it among the semi-key dates that are difficult to find, especially in attractive condition. Every surviving piece offers a tangible connection to a nation struggling through economic turmoil, giving this dime both historical and emotional relevance to collectors. Designed by the acclaimed sculptor Adolf A. Weinman, the Mercury dime series is widely considered one of the most artistic in U.S. coinage history. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Liberty wearing a winged Phrygian cap symbolizing freedom of thought. Many people mistakenly believe the coin shows the Roman messenger god Mercury, which is how the coin got its nickname. On the reverse, a fasces, a bundle of rods tied around an axe, represents unity and strength, while an olive branch wraps around it to symbolize peace. The D mint mark, located on the reverse to the right of the word 1, identifies this coin as a Denver Mint issue. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, each coin weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 17.9, making it both small and visually impressive. The scarcity of the 1931 Mercury dime is influenced by its already low mintage and compounded by heavy circulation. Many coins from this era were used extensively during the Great Depression and World War II, resulting in heavy wear. High-grade examples are extremely difficult to find today. Coins in very fine VF and extremely fine XF condition already command premium prices, while uncirculated mint state coins are truly rare and highly sought after by advanced collectors. Finding one in well-preserved condition with full details and minimal wear is a genuine challenge. Even in dirty or worn condition, a 1931 Mercury dime still carries value because of its scarcity. However, its market value rises dramatically based on condition and eye appeal. In circulated grades, values start around $40 to $120, depending on wear, even if the coin appears dull or dirty. For well-preserved examples in AU about uncirculated condition, values climb into the $250 to $450 range. In mint state, MS60, MS65, this dime can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $8,000, especially if it has been graded and certified by PCGS or NGC. Coins that display sharp strike details or full split bands on the fasces can reach even higher premium prices among elite collectors. Collectors pursuing the 1931 Mercury dime should focus on authenticity and condition. Since this is a semi-key date, counterfeit and altered examples exist, so purchasing from reputable sources is important. Coins certified by grading companies such as PCGS, NGC, or ANACS offer extra security. Careful attention should be paid to strike details, especially on the reverse. Original surfaces and natural tunning are preferred by seasoned collectors, while harshly cleaned or damaged coins lose market value. Proper storage in airtight holders or slabs is essential to preserve condition and prevent further tarnish or corrosion. For those building a Mercury dime collection, the 1931 is an essential piece, especially for those aiming to complete the full 1916-1945 series. It holds strong investment potential due to its growing demand and limited supply. The coin appeals to both intermediate and advanced collectors because it balances rarity with affordability, at least in lower grades. As more collectors pursue complete sets, competition for this date continues to rise, which supports strong market value over time. It also appeals to investors who appreciate coins with steady long-term appreciation. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1931 Mercury dime carries a powerful legacy that continues to fascinate numismatists worldwide. Each surviving specimen tells a story of American resilience during economic hardship, making it far more than just a collectible. The surviving population today is estimated to be relatively small, especially in higher grades, and many of the original coins have been lost to time through melting, damage, or wear from circulation. This naturally increases its long-term desirability and reinforces its status as a strategic investment coin. Whether displayed as part of a vintage U.S. coin collection, preserved in a certified holder for future value growth, or simply appreciated as an enduring piece of early 20th century coinage, the 1931 Mercury dime remains a symbol of rarity and numismatic prestige. It stands as a reminder that even the smallest coins can carry immense history, beauty, and value for those who understand their significance. The 1931 Mercury dime is more than just another silver coin. It is a time capsule from the Great Depression, a stunning work of American artistry, and a true rarity in the Mercury dime series. Whether found in very dirty condition or beautifully preserved in mint state, it remains a treasured collectible that continues to attract attention. Its combination of limited mintage, historical significance, and consistent demand solidifies its place as a valuable addition to any collection. For collectors seeking a meaningful and rewarding investment, the 1931 Mercury dime stands as a remarkable and enduring piece of American coinage history. And fourthly, we're going to explore the most valuable and expensive United States, the ultra-rare 1943 Mercury dime, with the San Francisco S mint mark, stands as a particularly fascinating and highly sought-after piece, a true prize for any numismatist. This dime, minted during the heart of the Second World War, carries an aura of history and scarcity that elevates it far beyond its face value. Its appeal is magnified by the challenging production circumstances of the era and the relative difficulty of finding examples in any condition, making it a cornerstone for series specialists. For collectors, securing a 1943 Mercury dime is a rewarding achievement, a tangible piece of a pivotal decade that continues to command significant attention and respect in the market. The historical context of the 1943 Mercury dime is deeply intertwined with the global conflict of World War II. Struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1943, this coin was produced during a time when the nation's industrial and metallic resources were overwhelmingly dedicated to the war effort. While the composition of the dime remained its standard silver alloy, unlike the pennies of the era which switched to zinc-coated steel, the focus on war production often meant that non-essential activities, including coinage, faced unique challenges and potential reductions in quality. The Mercury dime itself, with its iconic winged Liberty cap, was already a beloved design, but the 1943 issue represents a specific moment in time, a year of turning tides in the war, minted on the West Coast, which itself was a crucial hub for the Pacific Theater. This coin is a small but direct artifact from the home front, a piece of everyday currency that circulated among a populace united by a common cause. The unique features of the Mercury dime are what make it an enduringly iconic series, and the 1943 is no exception. The obverse features Adolph A. Weinman's stunning depiction of Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap with wings, often misinterpreted as the Roman god Mercury, symbolizing freedom of thought. The reverse showcases the powerful fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of authority, intertwined with an olive branch, representing both strength and peace. On the 1943 the small mint mark is located on the reverse, to the right of the fasces and just above the E in 1, confirming its San Francisco origin. While a coin in very dirty condition may obscure these fine details, the fundamental artistry and sharp design elements, such as the full split bands on the fasces and the intricate lines on the cap, are what collectors meticulously examine to appreciate its full potential and diagnose its wear. When discussing the rarity and condition of the 1943 Mercury dime, it is crucial to understand its position within the series. With a mintage of just 60,400,000, it is one of the lower production coins of the Mercury dime series, especially when compared to the hundreds of millions struck at Philadelphia and Denver that same year. While millions were made, the vast majority entered circulation and were worn down over decades of use. Consequently, finding examples in high grades like mint state is notoriously difficult, and even locating a coin in a moderately worn but problem-free state can be a challenge. A specimen in a very dirty condition presents a unique situation. The grime may hide serious surface impairments, or it may, in a fortunate case, be preserving the original surfaces beneath. For a coin of this date, the condition is paramount, and a dirty coin requires careful professional inspection to determine its true state and value, as the difference between a corroded piece and a merely uncleaned one is vast. The market value for a 1943 Mercury dime is exceptionally sensitive to its certified grade and overall appearance. For a coin in a very dirty and likely heavily circulated state, the value might be quite modest, perhaps in the range of $2 to $5, serving primarily as a filler for a date set. However, the true financial excitement for this date begins with examples in superior condition. A problem-free example grading extremely fine might trade for $20 to $30, while a mint state example quickly escalates in value. A coin grading MS60 can be worth around $100, but as the grade increases, so does the price dramatically. A gem MS65 can command between $500 and $800, and superb examples grading MS66 or higher have been known to realize prices well over $1,000 in competitive auctions. This steep valuation curve underscores the coin's significant scarcity in top-tier condition. For collectors aiming to acquire a 1943 Mercury dime, several key tips can guide a successful pursuit. Given the importance of condition and surface quality, prioritizing coins that have been professionally graded and encapsulated by leading services like PCGS or NGC is highly advisable. This removes the guesswork concerning authenticity and wear, which is especially critical for a coin that may be presented in a dirty or obscured state. When examining raw coins, one must be vigilant for signs of cleaning, corrosion, or other damage that the dirt might be concealing. It is also wise to purchase from reputable dealers or established auction houses that offer clear return policies. Engaging with the numismatic community through clubs and online forums can provide invaluable insights into current market trends and reputable sources, ensuring a confident and informed acquisition. The 1943 Mercury dime is a compelling numismatic treasure that masterfully blends historical significance, artistic beauty, and compelling rarity. It is a tangible relic from a defining period in American history, minted in a year when the world was at war. Its challenging nature in higher grades makes it a prized target for serious collectors, representing a genuine accomplishment to own. More than just a piece of silver, it is a miniature work of art and a fragment of the past whose allure and value have only grown stronger with time. For any enthusiast building a meaningful collection of 20th-century American coinage, the pursuit of a high-quality 1943 Mercury dime is an immensely rewarding endeavor, promising both personal satisfaction and a sound investment for the future. And at the end, we're exploring the most valuable and ultra-rare United States. The 1916 Mercury dime without a mint mark is one of the most desirable and talked-about coins in American numismatics, and despite its small face value of just 10 cents, it has become a treasure worth thousands of dollars today. Struck over a century ago at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin represents one of the earliest issues in the Mercury dime series, which officially began in 1916. Even though it was minted in the millions, Very few original examples have survived in collectible condition, especially after decades of circulation and heavy wear. When found today in very dirty or worn condition, it may look ordinary, but experienced collectors know that its true value lies in its rarity, design history, and growing demand across international coin markets. To understand why this coin is so valuable, it helps to explore the historical context behind its creation. The Mercury dime, officially called the Winged Liberty head dime, replaced the barber dime after the U.S. Mint held a design competition to modernize circulating coinage. Sculptor Adolph A. Weinman created a design featuring Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. Many people mistakenly believed it depicted the Roman god Mercury, giving rise to the popular nickname Mercury dime. The reverse features fasces bound with olive branches, representing strength and peace. This coin marked a turning point in U.S. decimal coinage, marrying symbolism, art, and national identity in a small yet powerful form. The 1916 no-mint mark Mercury dime comes specifically from the Philadelphia Mint, and while it is not as rare as the 1916 D, it is still highly sought after by collectors, especially in higher grades. Millions were released into circulation during World War I, at a time when silver coins were heavily used in daily commerce. Because of this heavy circulation, the majority of the 1916 no-mint mark dimes surviving today are in poor condition, bent, scratched, or covered with corrosion and dirt from decades of use. Locating one in very fine or extremely fine grades becomes challenging, and this rarity factor is what pushes its value into the thousands. Another factor that adds to the coin's appeal is its metal composition. The 1916 Mercury dime is made of 90% silver and 10% copper, which was the standard composition for U.S. dimes until 1964. Although the copper content is small, it plays an important role in the coin's durability and tunning behavior over time. The surface often shows signs of oxidation, especially in dirty condition, but careful conservation, not harsh cleaning, can sometimes reveal beautiful natural tunning underneath. Collectors appreciate original surfaces even when coins appear aged or dirty, because originality is important in grading and authentication. Market value for the 1916 no-mint mark Mercury dime varies based on condition, rarity within specific grading tiers, and demand from collectors. Even in very dirty condition, genuine examples can sell for several $100s simply due to age and history. However, when the coin reaches very fine condition with visible details and readable features, values start from around $1,000 and can go as high as $9,000 or more for well-preserved specimens. Certified examples graded by PCGS or NGC command even higher premiums because authentication protects buyers from counterfeits, which are unfortunately common in the online market. Demand for this coin continues to grow not just in the United States, but internationally, as collectors around the world invest in historic American silver coinage. The Mercury dime series is admired in countries with strong numismatic communities, including the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. In fact, this coin has become an important part of numismatic study in Australia, where collectors often focus on rare world silver coins from the early 20th century. The 1916 Mercury dime is frequently featured in Australian coin forums and collector groups, where it is recognized as a significant piece of early American decimal coinage, appreciated for both beauty and historical value. For collectors thinking about investing in one, there are important factors to consider. Condition is key, so coins graded very fine VF, extremely fine XF, or mint state MS are the best long-term investments. Authentication is critical, so it is strongly recommended to buy coins that come with certification from PCGS, NGC, or ANACS. It is also helpful to study grading standards, join online numismatic communities, and compare auction results before buying. Collectors should avoid harshly cleaned coins or polished surfaces, as these dramatically reduce market value and are rejected by serious collectors. Beyond its monetary value, the 1916 no-mint mark Mercury dime carries symbolism that resonates even today. Its depiction of liberty and freedom of thought reflects American ideals during a time of world conflict. The fasces on the reverse, before later misuse of the symbol in Europe, originally represented unity through shared national strength. This coin is not just a piece of silver. It is a cultural artifact from an important era in U.S. history, linking economics, art, and national identity in one piece of metal barely larger than a fingertip. The 1916 Mercury dime without a mint mark stands as more than a simple relic of American currency. It has evolved into a symbol of preservation, resilience, and the lasting intrigue of historical coinage. Even when discovered in very dirty or worn condition, it reminds collectors that true value is not always obvious at first glance. Its combination of artistry, scarcity, silver composition, and cultural heritage ensures that it will continue to attract new generations of numismatists around the world. Whether viewed as a financial asset, a historical artifact, or a bridge that connects collectors across international communities, this coin continues to prove that its legacy is secure and its value, both sentimental and monetary, will only grow stronger with time. The long-term value of the 1916 Mercury dime continues to rise as more collectors seek historically significant U.S. coins with limited surviving populations. Its appeal spans borders, cultures, and generations, making it a strong choice for collectors and investors alike. Whether found in a coin roll, inherited from family, or purchased at auction, this coin has secured its place in numismatic history as a rare early Mercury dime with international recognition and strong investment potential. As time passes and surviving examples become even harder to find, its cultural and financial value will continue to increase, ensuring that it remains one of the most coveted U.S. silver dimes ever minted.